Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how your desire is never ever too big for all that is. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I got an email from a subscriber. He said, Tom, I'm feeling overwhelmed with processes and overcome by resistance. And I'm beginning to think that maybe it's my desire really is too big. And I know that nothing is ever too big for God to manifest, but this is feeling too big. Can you unpack this? Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. And you're right. For God, for infinity, for all that is, for that unconditioned consciousness, for that field of infinite potential, there's nothing too big or too small, right or wrong, or good or bad. It's all the same. It judges nothing. It's all pure positive energy. But it's even bigger than that, right? It's even bigger than that. Remember, it doesn't matter whether your desire is big or small. You wouldn't have that desire unless it was already yours. Hear this. We pointed to this, right? That you wouldn't have that desire unless there was an alternative version of yourself already living out that desire in another reality, an alternative reality. That's why you desire it. That a larger part of you is already experiencing it or already having that experience, and you're feeling it as a desire. Hear this. That larger part of you is that 99.99999% of energy. All of that is pure potential, right? That part of you is already, that's why you feel it as a desire. It's already living it out, right? You can only desire what's already yours. More than that, you can only desire what you already are. Wow, that's big. You already are that. Here's why. Remember, 99.9999%, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, you're mostly made of nothing or energy. But you're made of something. You're made of the unlimited potential of all that is. That's all potential. Potential to be, do, or have anything. That's what you're mostly made of. The 0.00001% is just conditioned consciousness, limited consciousness. It's the matter. Wow, that is big. You are almost entirely made of potential to be, do, or have whatever your heart desires. Then you are something. That's huge, guys. That's why no desire is ever too big, right? To all that is, to God, to infinity, there's no such thing as too small or too big. It's pure positive energy. But more than that, all that is, was, or ever be, it's also a hologram. It's all connected. Energy, we're all energy. And energy is all one. And any part or section or piece of that energy contains the whole. You contain the whole of the universe. You contain the whole of the 3D world all within you, right? Why is that important? Because when you appreciate the little things in life, when you appreciate any little thing, because there is no such thing as little or big, you are appreciating everything. Hear this, right? You might ignore little things, right? But those little things, because there's no such thing as big or little, when you appreciate, when you feel grateful, when you feel happy, when you feel thrilled for the little things, this means you feel happy, thrilled, and grateful and appreciative of everything that is, was, or will ever be. Wow! If you don't think that changes everything, I don't know what doesn't. Because wow, that sends waves of positivity out through the entire fabric of the universe and beyond, right? But here's the flip side. When you are resisting any little thing, you are resisting everything. That's big. That's big. That's why you want to move to appreciation. That's why you want to always move to putting your attention on what you want, right? And letting the unwanted fade from your attention, fade from your perception, right? That's big. So desire without resistance or without the doubt is what we call pure intention. That's all it is, right? Sometimes with desires, we put immediate, remember, desire is born from the unwanted, right? That's why you have a desire. It's born from something you identified that you did want, and you identify what you do want, as Abraham Hicks says. Well, there's resistance that comes immediately with that, right? But once you desire it, once you move from the resistance and turn it into pure intention, well, that's desire without resistance. That's desire without doubt. And here's a way to think of it. Think of your desire as a choice. You choose to embody and become a new reality. You choose to embody and become a new desire. You choose to embody and become a new and higher version of yourself. Now it's a choice. Now the doubt goes away, right? You have chosen it, right? It is yours. And think of it this way as well. Every new desire is a new version of yourself that already exists in that alternative reality. Every new desire is an alternative version of yourself that's already living out that desire. That's why you have it. That's why nothing is ever too big or small. You wouldn't have the desire. It's already yours. It's yours when you had the desire. That's what Neville was getting at. That's what all the spiritual teachers were getting at, right? Remember, doubt is your resistance or unwillingness, and not even consciously sometimes, to receive, allow, or move to your reality and become that new version of yourself, right? Remember, you're receiving it, you're allowing it, you're being moved to that new reality, right? Through that desire, through that pure intention. So how do you release doubt? Release doubt by thinking of your desire as a decision to experience another part of who you are. Hear this. What a great light way to take the pressure off. Think of your desire as just a choice to experience, a decision, a choice to experience another part of who you really are. That's big. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling that resistance, right? When you're feeling a little bit lost in the processes, get back to basics. How do you get back to basics? Do nothing. Get into a total state of surrender and allowing. That's where your real power is anyway. That's real power, right? Close your eyes and go within, right? Close your eyes and go within. That's where your power is. Get hooked up to source, right? Get hooked back up to the source of all there is, was, or ever be. Remember, why can you immediately get hooked up? Because 99.999% of you is source, as well as that 0.001% of matter. That's also source. It's all made of the same thing. But you're mostly potential. You're mostly unconditioned consciousness than you are conditioned. Wow, that's big, right? So softly with ease then, after you close your eyes and go within, open your eyes. Declare and even write down. That's why on the community board I showed a little pad that I use. Right, from Amazon Basics it's called, right? And just I dedicate that to my desire. So I not only say it, I write it down, and softly with ease, no resistance, right? Then I close my eyes again. I take a few deep breaths and say to yourself softly, but with absolute conviction, it is done, because it is done, right? Do nothing. Close your eyes and go within. Allow. Open your eyes then. Declare what you want. Write it down softly with ease. Close your eyes again. Take a few deep breaths and say to yourself softly, with absolute conviction, with zero resistance, it is done. It is mine, because it is. That's why your desire is never, ever too big for God. Never, ever too big for infinity. Never, ever too big for all that is. I am your host, Tom Caron. And this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, our website at tomcaron.com, at BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me anytime at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, with great love, this is Tom. See you soon.